Hi, everybody. It's me, Brayathorn, and I am not feeling so great. But the show must go on. FWIW. Good stuff. It's the reason I can talk or do anything right now, so I'll take it. But hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see y'all here. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to help y'all out. Even though I'm not feeling my best, you know, it'll be what it'll be. Let's see what's going on over here in YouTube town. What's going on, Sailor X? How are you doing? I'm glad you and your family are okay. That's good to hear. There's a lot of inclement weather, looks like. Jesus. Hello, Alice. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, he says. Steve is going to catch the debate, apparently. Yes, you are Scottish and in Scotland. But let me know how it goes. I'm pretty sure I already know how it's going to go. What's up, Maxis? Welcome. How are you? Hope you're doing well. CellRX, is it the flu? It's flu-like symptoms. I don't know. I got sick at TwitchCon, I guess, which happens. It's a convention. What's up, Crash? How are you? Austin, welcome. Hope it's not COVID. I'm masking. You can't get it through your screen. And no, we haven't at-home. I had an at-home test. It's not COVID. Crash, I don't know if I'm a hero. I'm just a nerd in a room that likes to talk about computers, but thank you. You stick that 4090 increase that PC yet? Well, no, I sold the 4090. We got slammed, still no power. That sucks. Thank you for using up your precious battery to watch the show. I appreciate that. Man. Hope you start feeling better soon. I'm way better than I was yesterday, that's for sure. Oh, yesterday was... The problem is this. Like, anyone who gets sick feels drained. When you already start with chronic fatigue syndrome and you start with less of an energy budget, it doesn't matter what, like, gradient, what level of chronic fatigue syndrome you have, because there's people who have it really, really worse than me. You know, like way worse than I do. But anybody with chronic fatigue syndrome starts their day with a fraction of the energy of a normal person. Add being sick to that, and I just can't move. I got nothing. So yesterday was a wash completely. Shout out to my buddy Brett and Rare Brew Coffee Company. I think we have a code with them. I unboxed it live on stream and it was really nice. And yeah, pretty sure we've got a code with them. So if you go to Rare Brew Coffee and you go buy some, use my name and you should get a discount. That should be a thing. And you're supporting a really good cause. I already did it. You can't tell me to hydrate when I already am done doing it. Oh boy. What's up, Robert? How's it going? Hi, AB2. Hey, Max, once you got hit by a hurricane, I was like, nope, like, you're okay. Like, whenever, you know, like, you got stuff to take care of. I've also got these guys right here. So I've got, you might have to hear me eating a cough drop, some ASMR later. It's what you got to put up with for me to be able to stream today. Thankfully, yesterday, of course, things trigger migraines for me pretty easily. But thankfully, yesterday I did have one, but today, no migraine today, so that's nice. But then it could be all the acetaminophen that's in FWIW. That could be. What are we going to do today? Well, like the title says, we're doing PC matchmaking. And I know you added yourself to that list, so that's what we're doing. Viewers provide their information, and I look into that and help make a recommendation for you for what pre-built or parts list would be good for you, in my opinion. Corn liquor and a drop of honey works every time. Yeah. I mostly just medicate heavily, although that could be considered the same. All right, so what are we doing? I'm all like asking y'all what we're doing. It's my stream. I should know. But it's okay. This is all right. Thank you to SkyTech for giving the ability to play Starfield at 144 FPS. There you go. Apocalyptic, how's it going? About to order a tough 4090 literally right now. Do you think I should wait for 5000 series? Honestly, it's hard to wait. But think about it this way. Even if you weren't to get a 5090, the same card you're buying right now in like 3 or 4 months, you might be able to buy that at half that price. Think about it seriously. Like, is that okay with you? If it is, then who cares? Do whatever makes you happy. But if that's not okay with you, and you're gonna sort of like maintain some kind of discipline and be like, no, this card has been out for 2 years. I'm not about to buy it when it's about to be replaced or whatever. Not at full price. Like the one that I sold for $1,200, that was a good deal. Like you'll see them drop to prices like that. So whoever got that doesn't need to feel bad about that. But buying one for like $1,800 or whatever, no, I wouldn't do that. For some of them are going for like $2,000 right now because they're hard to find. But if you can wait till January, and it's now October, November, December, January. In the grand scheme of things, a couple of months is not that bad. Not that bad to wait. But I mean, remember, nobody can make that decision for you. That is up to you. Just noticed some bags under your eyes. I'm very sick. But thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Here, everybody, get a good look. Good? We good, everybody? Todd Howard was right. All you need to do is upgrade your PC. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, everybody. Y'all are really helping with the self. You got to understand, every time I go live, like I'm no spring chicken. I'm no male model. I'm none of that stuff. And that's normal, right? Hollywood wants us to have these unreal expectations for ourselves. I think I'm a decent looking dude, I guess. But like every time I go live, I've gotten over it. But you get all of your insecurities will come to the forefront, and you have to get over that. If you just look at people like objectively, we're all kind of weird looking when you think about it. Like our eyes are orbs filled with liquid that let us see beams of light that shoot into them. Upside down too, which is weird. We seriously have bags of liquid in sockets inside of bone that let us observe the world around us. What the hell are we? This is crazy. Sorry, very medicated right now, but the point stands. Phone blew up with alert saying tornado imminent. Jesus, that's so scary. R. Lewis 88, welcome. I'm a good male role model. Well, yeah, I mean, don't expect, you know, I guess I just try to like, I'm again, I don't feel like I need to be, I'm not a role model. I would say that. Like, I do try to get people to think pretty logically about stuff that we tend to be illogical about. That's usually a good thing to do, but I forgot I have to drink this within like the first 15 minutes of making it. So, excuse me. Yeah, that settled quite a bit. Blip. Okay. Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that. But nothing will make you feel existential like getting dreadfully sick and then having to be in front of a bunch of people. Anyway, all right. Thank you, One-Handed Gamer. Hope you're doing well. And also Exiled Wolf, I hope you're doing well as also. Yes. Metroid Dread? What? Cup of chicken broth works too. Yeah. Growing up, I grew up on the border of Mexico, on a border town. When you get sick, chicken caldo is so good for that. So if you have a nice, authentic Mexican or Tex-Mex restaurant close to you, if you get a cold or something like that, see if they have chicken caldo, and it is so good for that. Why do I have a couple who are marked to be helped out? I guess I didn't get these done, I guess. Oh my goodness. Okay. Maxis. Hold up. I'm gonna try to do this. While sick. Let's see how it goes. But Maxis 1313 Ghost Rider, thank you for the $50 super chat. Let's go, nerds. Seriously, thank you. That is very generous. For the baggage fees, though. I like that. You know how this works. You've been here enough. You know how it works. Been loving the PC from iBuyPower. Blessed to have gotten it before they ran out of 7800 X3D. Indeed, you are. They are still out as far as I know. And also, so are most other SIs. Now, that could be because late October we'll see the launch of the 9800 X3D. But the fun thing about the 7800 X3D is that it doesn't matter what the next things that come out are. This thing was so ahead of everything else that it's going to stay relevant and stay high performance for a very, very long time. SPM, okay, Twinkie, okay. Super excited. Ordered the Slate Mesh Pro from iBuyPower with the 4070 Super in it. And it should be delivered tomorrow. Very cool. Was that a ready system? Did you use code BRAETHORN6 to get $50 off if it's a ready system? Because you could do that. That's my code. It's this plus a 6 at the end. I don't know why we have to have that, but we do with them. Austin asks, are you live on YouTube? Yes, I am. That's why you're hearing me respond to people that you're not seeing the chats of. It's because Twitch doesn't want me putting YouTube chat on the screen. And Lord knows I don't bring in numbers like I used to where I could get partner again. So I don't want to lose partner by breaking TOS. So R. Lewis said, just about over a cold. Trying to play games hasn't been fun. Yeah, I know. Sitting at the desk is like, my body's just like, why are we sitting up? Why are we doing this? Go lay down. You can't do this. And I'm like, I have to get this video out. It's like, you have to live. Go lay down. All right. I did after watching your unboxing from a few months back. Very cool. Very cool. Michael Perriton says, have a great stream, Braithorn. I'm off to bed just saying hi. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Max says, thank you again. It was very generous of you. We still like watching no matter what the platform. True. All right, guys, we're moving everything over to Kick. Yeah, we're not doing that. Don't really support that platform. I do not. Just a lot of weird wackiness going on with that. Ain't feeling it. Nothing against people who do stream there, except for a few. I know some very, very cool people who do stream on Kick, but it's just not for me. You said dread sick. Did I? Dula's old Bray unboxing videos. Well, we do have some more coming that we just need to do the editing for. We have actually the iBuyPower one that I did on the marathon stream. Plus, then we have the STG Auburn one that I did right after that. Let me tell you guys, doing 2 unboxings in one stream, what the hell was I thinking? I wasn't. I was just on a lot of caffeine. And yeah, I still need to get that one rebuilt and sent out. Okay, maybe not every platform. Yeah. Want to change the cooler on the custom build you did for me from iBuyPower AW4 to the Deep Cool LS720. It has RGB fans for $6 extra. Keeping it fishy, you could do that. Just know that, you know, it is like, while Deep Cool makes a great product, they are currently sanctioned by the US government, and that could lead to complications in warranty coverage later on, though it's iBuyPower's responsibility, not your responsibility to worry about that, which is a good thing about getting it pre-built. Just try to keep that in mind. Wish YouTube was more streamer friendly. They'd have tons of people switch over from Twitch. That's been a long debate. And I think YouTube is realizing why Twitch has been non-profitable for so many years, because they invested a lot in the streaming side of things, and I don't think they're seeing the return they were hoping for. So I think they're pushing more towards the shorts and whatnot. You possibly have any codes for any companies that sell individual parts? I do not. I did have the ability to generate affiliate Amazon codes for a while, but when my phone was fried on the way to CES 2024 in January, Amazon apparently will only accept me logging in from that phone that is dead. So I have to basically call them and fix my login there so I can generate affiliate links. Because then I could do parts lists, and every link would generate revenue for the channel, which helps me do what I do without any cost to you guys. It's kind of the best, but I can't do that now. Are Falcon's PCs any good, says Walleye? Yes, they're very good. They're not for everybody, though, but they're very, very good. I'm using one right now. Should I get it or not? Shoot straight. Yes or no? It's not major enough to, I gave you my answer already. I gave you information. At some point, you have to be able to take the information presented to you and make a decision for yourself. I already gave you all the pertinent info. I can't decide what your priorities are. You got it, Maxis? Panagiotis, 13. Good morning to everyone from Greece. Good evening here from Texas. How are you? P. Hoffman Gaming. My thoughts on that are we have a method of doing this in which if you check out the description, there's a link you can fill out to fill out a form to sort of get in line for the free help. It's right there. It's the first thing in the description. Just go ahead and click on that, fill out the form, and then I can help you out. Any further details you can provide when your turn comes up. Well, like I said, the warranty is not your responsibility. That is iBuyPower's responsibility. It's just something I would consider. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if the radiator is mounted to the top of the case, how important is it to you that those fans have RGB? That's up to you. I can't tell you whether that's important or not. It's going to work. It's going to work just fine. That's the main thing. They'll both work just fine. Starfield needs a transmog system. I don't think they would ever do that because I don't see it ever making them money. What do you think about Intel Arc GPUs? Is it a good value for gaming PC? Yes, it's a good value. Is it for everybody? No, because people who are like brand new to PCs probably shouldn't go Intel Arc. They're still the first Alchemist GPUs were still kind of a curiosity for a lot of people, where it was like, this is different, this is interesting. Whereas like so enthusiasts would be into it, but you would have issues like when Starfield came out, you couldn't play it for a couple of weeks if you had the Intel GPU. Oops, a week or so. I forget how long it was. That kind of stuff's going to happen because Intel's not at the top of the chain, food chain, when it comes to getting drivers done by game studios or with games or for specific games, I should say. But whatever. However, all of that works. It's going to be slower with them. Battle Mage should be more of a contender. But the A770 and A750 are still very competitive cards, especially an A770 with 16 gigs of VRAM. I mean, you can get some of those at a really compelling price, and that's 1440p gaming for a lot of games. The six soup out here is Vietnamese pho or albondigas on the Hispanic side. Interesting. Okay. Pho could be really good for you when you're sick, though. For sure. I don't think that you can beat Alexander PC's warranty. Well, Crash, the only way to do that is to offer the same and back it up just as much. It's pretty thorough. But there are companies that also offer things that Alexander PCs can't offer, like Falcon Northwest's offering free overnight shipping for the first year back and forth. If you have any issues, if you need an RMA within the first year, they pay for overnight shipping to them and back to you. It's crazy. But their warranty, though it is one of the longer warranties in the industry, it's not lifetime. So there are trade-offs. You just decide what your priorities are. The thing is, guys, don't ever expect, like, there are going to be times where I'm like, this is the best thing for you. Just get this. But a lot of the time, I'm just going to do what I should be doing. Answering some questions by presenting information to you that you can use for yourself. Because I'm not you. I don't actually know what you value other than what you tell me. In a lot of ways, as a social exchange, this is very out of balance because you're getting a lot more of me than I'm getting of you in this social exchange. And I only know what you guys tell me. So there's a lot of guessing that would happen on my part in order for me to say what's actually the best thing for you. So I just have to go off of the information you provide me in the forum and then just context clues I get from random things that you say in chat. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going? All right, Edward Taylor, what's up? Thanks for joining on both sides. Okay, so let's see who's here. We got to do a roll call because we got to get into this. I don't know how long I can stream tonight. So, If you have filled out the form and you're currently waiting for help, please type my name, put the @ symbol at Braithorn, then type I'm on the list. I won't automatically know that you're on the list just because you're typing in chat. Okay? So, at Braithorn, which you can see how it's spelled right here, I'm on the list. Okay, Austin's on the list. Does iBuyPower know to make the pivoting fans to intake so they don't try and exhaust out the front? What do you mean pivoting fans? When it comes to the Montech King 95, like you stated on the last stream, they're not going to set it to pivot. They're not going to set it to the things to have the fans in the front. It's going to keep them on the side because that's how the fans are in the King 95 Pro. They're set as reverse flow. If you want to set it to where the fans are in the front with the mesh front panel, first, not every SI sends the mesh front panels with that case. That's just how that is. And secondly, you need to replace those fans. So, yeah, they're not going to move those. If you want to set it to intake, to be front intake, you can do that, but you got to replace those front fans. A little bit of an oversight from Montech, but it's cool that it's an option. Solsden, what's up? Michelle Melton, welcome. How are you? Oh my God. I buys the new one when it comes out in like 2 months. What? Buying a near $2,000 GPU right before new GPUs come out. Wild in my opinion. Well, here's the thing, Austin. You said that you're looking to make your purchase within 1 month on the forum. If you're looking to wait for the 50 series to come out, we can't do your build right now because I've no information for that I find to be reliable enough to do a... Yeah, it says within 1 month that you want to make your purchase within a month. Oh, I see. You want me to do a poll. Oh, okay. Hold on. Sure. There's supposed to be a mod here to do this stuff. Okay. And then an ad starts. Perfect. Yeah, Austin, I think I talked to you about that on Sunday. So what we can do is we can leave your form in there until we have more information on that, until that comes out, because that's not coming out for another month. And I can't do a recommendation based on something that isn't out yet. But there's something you need to be aware of, okay? Unless you've been, like, when you're getting something right when it launches, you're usually going to be dealing with some early adopter woes, like some, you know what? It's, like, it can be tough. It can be a little bit annoying. Like, anyone who bought 9000 series Ryzen right off the bat, they experienced it being a little slower, and slowly as the window update came out and now the new Agisa came out, now they have to update their BIOS. That means but now it's getting faster, but for a while there it was pretty annoying. So yeah, it's called early adopter syndrome, basically, or issues that you might have. I just had some I had some hot Theraflu crash just now, so I don't want to add to that just yet. I appreciate that, one-handed gamer. Thank you. What's up, Broga? How are you doing? Not, just working through some sickness tonight, but yeah. Don't want to do that. Just want to make sure it'll be built correctly. I'm keeping the glass, don't want the mesh. Then that's how they're going to build it. Yeah. I mean, that's how they build it normally. That's the default. They're going to go with the default way it's set up for the case. That's what you're going to get. And that's normal. I don't know, the 4090 will still probably be the second best card even after 5000 series comes out, so it's not as crazy as you might think. If you compare the 4080 versus the 3090, you might change your mind on that. But the difference between the 4090 and the actually no, I mean, I just talked about this in the video that I'm editing like right now. The difference between the 4090 and the 4080 is actually a lot larger than the difference between the 3090 and 3080 was. So as that gulf is only increasing because we have specs, some leaked specs that could be right, could be wrong, for the 5090 and 5080, and the jump between the 5080 and the 4080 aren't as huge as the jump between the anyways, whatever. Regardless of that, though, one thing remains true. Nobody needs a 4090 if you're just gaming. You don't need that. You don't need a 4090. I don't care what advertisements have told you. I don't care what YouTubers have told you. I don't care what TikTokers have told you. You don't need a 4090. You don't need that. Even for 4K gaming. 7900 XT, 4K gaming. All right? Hex. 4080 Super, 4K gaming. 4070 Ti Super, 4K gaming. All of that. Just know how to work with your settings. The fact that you want to go into a game and max out 4K settings, just ultra everything, is not ideal. It's wasteful, and most games are not optimized, and that's even worse when you go to ultra settings in any game. It's just bad. So I grew up, and I hate sounding old like this, I grew up learning how to adjust every game's settings to exactly where I wanted it to get the frame rate and quality that I wanted, the blend, the balance. And unless you're doing prosumer work where you need the potential 32 gigs of VRAM that they're going to potentially have in the 5090, that's a lot of VRAM. Like, good Lord, you don't need that. Then, 5080 is going to be fine for you. Or get a great deal on a 4090 or 4080 Super. But like, most people are 4070 Super type customers, or even 4060 or 7700 XT. Like, if you look at the Steam hardware survey, 4% of gamers are playing in 4K. 4%. 4%. That's it. That is not a lot of people. Doesn't the 5080, 5090 get delayed again until late 2025? No. Where did you hear that? No, it's not. It's early 2025. Q1 is what I'm hearing. One-handed gamer, one thing you can do is you can probably buy the part by itself. I know that's been, for some other cases, been available. I don't know if Montech lets people do it, but it'd be cool if iBuyPower offered it. Okay, it looks like 60% of people voted AMD. There's your poll. One person voted Abacus. That makes me happy. After seeing the spec gap between the 5080 and 5090, I'm wondering what immediate versions they'll come out with. I mean, I know that we're probably going to see a 5080 Ti this generation. We have. There's like no way. There's so much of a gulf between the 5080 and the 5090. It's ridiculous. You guys will see a video should go up tomorrow. I talk about it there. It's ridiculous. Like it is, you can fit like 2 other GPUs in that gap. It's crazy. Is it good value for a new gaming PC to buy used GTX 2060? Well, for one thing, there is no GTX 2060, Panagiotis. It is an RTX 2060. But you haven't really given me any other information. So maybe 2060 was still like a lot of people still use that card. But I cannot tell you what condition a used card is going to be. I know I've got the haircut, but I am no Professor X, and I cannot delve anyone's mind and see if they're trying to trick you with a mining GPU or something. So I don't vouch for used parts because I don't know. That's me telling you to take a risk that I don't have to take, and that's not fair to you. Oh, 5090 benchmarks are out? Didn't say that. It's just leaked specs. That's all it is. Leaked specs. Benchmarks are a whole other story. Yeah, that's not unusual though. One-handed gamer, a lot of SIs do that, especially higher volume. Skytech has their own King 95, and it does not come with a mesh panel. Huh, interesting. Winter gaming. Why is my interface here telling me that you're a likely harasser? What have you been up to? My PC doesn't connect to 5 gigahertz for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know either. Do you have both antenna attached? Yeah, it says likely harasser. I'm not kidding. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? Here, I'll show you. I'm not trying to call you out. I feel like you should know. See that? That's weird. I don't even know if other people can see your messages right now. This has never happened. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I don't usually do troubleshooting on this stream. We're about to get into doing some PC recommendations, PC matchmaking. If you're looking for help, join the Discord. Check it out there. And I would message Twitch support and see what's going on and see why you have that. And just, don't be mad about it or anything. It could just be a misunderstanding. Just give them a chat, send that request in, see if they'll fix that for you. And it could just be a mistake. You have joined the Discord? Okay. Well, you can do a forum post to see if someone can walk you through there on updating your drivers for your wireless and stuff. But one thing I've noticed is, it could be something with it could be the distance to your router. It could be too much interference if you have stuff like a lot of walls in the way, because 5G doesn't get through, being a higher frequency, it doesn't get through obstructions quite as well as 2.4 gigahertz, because that's a longer frequency, a wider frequency, which gets through solid objects better. So, I mean, I usually just recommend, especially if you're doing anything competitive or streaming or anything, I just recommend running a long Ethernet cable if you have to do that. But yeah. I think Twitch has been updating their guidelines, and it doesn't seem smart to go against people's rules anymore. Like, I'm ADHD, but I try not... Okay. Yeah, I know, but I'm seeing other stuff. I'm reading other people's stuff. Austin Taylor, you do realize there's other people in the chat, right? I don't see every single one. What question did you ask? Like once we determined that you want to wait for the newest technology, that means that you're gonna need to wait. Like you're gonna wait for it, right? You're gonna wait for your help. That means that you shouldn't be like, hey, answer me now. That's really annoying and rude and childish. Don't do that, okay? Like, no, okay. Just come back whenever you're ready to buy, when that stuff launches. I don't like that kind of stuff. Don't do that. My poor camera. So a mining GPU might be a better bet overall. What, really? What am I missing in YouTube chat? What did I miss? Oh, because I was talking about mining GPUs. Yeah, to mine crypto. Basically, you have your GPU do math and stuff. It's like any middle schooler's nightmare. God, what if I was forced to do math? I went to hell and I was forced to do math for all eternity. That's what mining GPUs have to do. And that's basically like proof of work. That's basically like, okay, good job. You just created a coin. There's that coin. That's crypto. That's why when the crypto boom was happening, you couldn't buy GPUs to save your life. Couldn't do it. Apocalyptic, I don't think it's too weird. Now, the thing is, I got to see who else is here who needs help, because Austin is going to be holding off until the launch of the newest stuff, which is coming in later this month. With AMD, it could be an announcement near the end of the month, or it could be a launch near the end of the month. But the 9800X3D is apparently coming out in about 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks is what I can say. Yeah, Brightthorn just went to a bunch of other new streams. This is the first time this has happened. That's weird, Winter Gaming. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, see, like it doesn't show your chats on stream, so that is weird. To be honest, mining GPUs are well cared for, while typical gaming PCs have cat hair and dust all in the tower. Robert, I wouldn't say that by default. I mean, there are going to be miners out there who didn't take care of their cards. Just like there's going to be PC gamers who take great care of their PCs. You can't really say, but what we can say is that the workload that mining GPUs go under and the amounts of time that they're under that workload is much greater than the average gaming GPU. That's the only thing we can actually be sure of. Ah, gross, bro. That is pretty bad. It's not like 13th gen Intel and 14th gen Intel are bad, people. Well, no. It's Intel that was bad. Intel was bad. Intel did a bad. That's the problem, Ghost Poner. Intel did a bad thing. By going a year, having a known issue and knowing that issue and denying RMAs anyway, while also not letting the public know that there were oxidation issues with 13th gen that they fixed. They should be like, hey, from this serial number to this serial number, these are all open for RMA because an oxidation issue was found and it could potentially affect your CPU. Nope, that would have cost them money, and that's not worth it to them. And then with 14th gen, with the microcode thing, like how many months upon months upon months did it take them to finally admit there was a problem and come up with a solution? And still try to pass the buck to SIs. And people were getting denied RMAs. And they were saying, like, even though we've admitted something's wrong, you might get denied your RMA. Just try again. Just keep going until you get someone who knows what's going on. Like, Intel showed their true colors. And yeah, it wasn't good. It was really bad for consumer trust. So, and also they came out with the fix, the big fix, a microcode update. and they're like, this is it. This is what's going to fix it. And then like a few days ago or a week ago, they said like, all right, we're coming out with the fix, and this fixes everything. We're like, we already did the fix. I've updated my BIOS in this thing like 6 times. What are you talking about? So yeah, 13th and 14th gen CPUs aren't bad per se, but motherboard manufacturers were pumping too much power into them because Intel did not provide them with any restrictions. They didn't give them any guidelines, no restrictions. And then their support, when they had a massive issue with millions of CPUs, their response was to say, no, we're not doing an RMA. Or we're not doing a recall. We're not doing a recall. Nope. Why would we? We have your money. We're fine. Awkward. Do you not think that could be user error? We don't have access to the microcode. We can't do that. We literally can't do that. And if you install your CPU wrong, it just doesn't freaking work. Like, there are way too many pins to have to be lined up perfectly, right? And then, yeah, you put your cooling thing on. If your cooler's not on there correctly, it's not that they were overheating. It's that in the microcode, it was instructing power to instead be divided here and to put some power there. It was like, no, just push it all into this one. Oh, no, that one's fried. Now we're just going to push all the power into this one. It was just really bad microcode. And then in the manufacturing, oxidation, we don't have access to manufacture. How could that be user error? Yo, Igor1980, thank you for dropping 2 gifted tier 1 subs. How you doing? That's a tier 1 sub for 6 Finks and Salt and Poppy. I appreciate that. Look, here's the thing, Ghosts. Every company has stuff like this happen. And like, if you look at the 12VH PWR connector, that turned out to be user error. This was not. And Intel made mistakes here. But it's not whether or not a company makes mistakes that makes them a good or a bad company. Every company makes mistakes. What makes for a good or bad company is how they handle it. And Intel handled it horribly. Like bad. What's up, Sheriff Folds? How's it going? Yo, Big Bird, I just missed that you joined the Swarmies. Thank you for that, getting that membership. Welcome to the Swarm. I appreciate it. It's not like my job to tell you guys how you should feel about that. I'm sharing my opinion on Intel there. I feel that it's our job, and not just content creators, consumers. It's our job to hold companies accountable. It's not that Intel is like cooked. They're not. They're backed by the government, okay? Now they are. And they're getting more money from the CHIPS Act. Like, they're not going anywhere. So we have to hold them accountable because they have to be good. Like, they have to be good. Otherwise, you get stuff like a lackluster launch from AMD with 9000 series because it wasn't ready. Because they were like, Intel's on the ropes. We can do whatever the hell we want. Let's launch this now while the getting is good. And they even delayed it for 2 weeks. And it was still a few weeks until now. Oh, it's getting faster now. Oh, now we can run 105 watt. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, cool. Now we're getting better performance. Like, even though the 105 watt only gets you 10% more performance for like 50% more wattage, 60% more wattage, whatever. Hope it helps a little. It does. Thank you. Robert Fixel, just my comment. Most of the dirty, nasty gaming PCs that I get in the shop were owned by kids. Adult-owned do not have the same dirt issue. True. Yo, Apocalyptic, thank you for joining this. Excuse me. Apocalyptic, thank you for joining the Swarm. Appreciate that. And I noticed my members on YouTube, you have access to emotes that you could be using. And that's something people in the Twitch chat really like to do. You guys should bring us some of that some of that sentiment over to YouTube. I'd like to see that. I wish we could get another competitor on the market, says Michelle. Me too. But it's a lot harder to get a CPU competitor added to the market than it is for a GPU competitor, believe it or not. Because a GPU can basically be plugged into any PCIe slot, right? Anything that can do PCIe, it should be able to work for the most part. But a CPU needs a platform. It needs a socket. It needs motherboards. It needs RAM profiles. It needs all kinds of stuff. It is a lot more sensitive than GPUs are. So, and I don't. The thing is, everyone's talking about NVIDIA ARM. No, I don't want NVIDIA in on this. I do not want NVIDIA in on this. They would be powerful, and they would put probably a really a good product after a while anyway. But like, do we really want NVIDIA getting more market share? There you guys go. That's what I like to see. Colin DeMello, is the Starforge Navigator a good PC to get? Sure, I guess. But that's not how it works here. Check the description, fill out the form, get on the list. I'll help you out. Because I don't know anything about you. So I don't know whether that's a good PC for you or not. Starforge makes a good PC, but I don't know if that's the right one for you. That's what that form is for. Check the description, click the link, fill it out. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we were trying to get into these. We were trying to get into the first one, but that one turned out to be someone that we needed to delay. So who else is on the list and is waiting for help? Please let me know. I do need to do a few of these tonight, even if I'm feeling sick. Arctander Elekium, I appreciate that. Glad you learned stuff here. Sour pies or sour please? What does that say? Warm Eagle, what's up? Sheriff Foles, I'm interested in looking for a small form factor PC for myself. I know I've heard you mention your rig is from Falcon Northwest. Have you got any feedback on their small PC build? I mean, most people like them. Roby loves both he travels. Wait, let me see. So he has the frag box, but he travels with the Tiki. Oh, I see. I don't have, what is it? 7 whatever. I don't have that. I should get it. BTTV. That's another one. Nope, not at all. Getting NVIDIA on that market would be a disaster, to be honest. I really don't feel like that would be good. Is there a 4th GPU manufacturer? Well, China's trying to be one, but it's not going too well. Okay, P. Hoffman Gaming is on the list. I'm not ready to do the form yet. Probably closer to the end of the year. Just starting to look at small options. Hey, cool. I'm glad you are. You're on top of that. Okay. So P. Hoffman Gaming. Who else? Just type out Braithorn. I'm on the list. Igor says, I'm sad both Intel and AMD are staying out of the high-end GPU market. Now nothing will keep NVIDIA from jacking up those prices. Well, Igor, remember this. Most consumers are not in the market for high-end. I talked about this earlier. In the Steam hardware survey for August, they only showed like 3.7% of people playing 4K. That's not a lot of people. So where's the money at? Budget and mid-range. That's where the money's at. But for those of us that are, yeah. I'm excited to start my mini ITX build. The case was delivered today. Very cool. That should be fun. Yeah, I like the case that you chose. It was a nice case. I'm being optimistic in my own way is, I've had 2 different PCs and just went back to Intel in July. So I've been both sides of the board, but I want to trust Intel is doing right on the issue. If they had been, I would be all about it. Okay, this is something, listen up, guys. This is not just in terms of companies and products. This goes towards your personal life too, okay? Listen up and come here. Anytime you have the choice, like anytime you're in a position where you might break someone's trust, guess what that also is? That is also an opportunity to build more trust by doing the hard thing instead. So if you're in a position where you could lie to somebody easily, take the easy route, and maybe get away with it, but also maybe break their trust, that is a situation in which you could do the hard thing and be honest and upfront. And instead, it's an opportunity to build trust. That's almost universally the case where every situation like that could go either way. You could do one or the other, and there's like no middle ground, usually. Okay? So what is the answer there? Do the hard thing. And in Intel's case, do the expensive thing. Maintain that consumer trust that you've spent a long time building and a very short time squandering. Well, let me get down off the soapbox. Okay. How many at 1440p? I don't remember. It was like 20, 30% at 1440p or equivalent. What? I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't have it memorized. The main point to me was the 4K resolution answer, because that was kind of a glaring thing. Like, holy crap, this is what NVIDIA cares the most about? 4% of the market? Yeah, y'all go and have that, NVIDIA. Here you go. That's why they have to charge so much for those things, I guess. And why they've been like a 4060 will still do a lot. Like, it's still a powerful GPU in its own way, but the price was wrong. There are no bad GPUs. There are only bad prices. Oh, okay. There are some bad GPUs. But yeah. RX 6500 comes to mind. The GTX 1050 Ti and 1650s are still in the top 15 for GPUs on Steam, even after all these years. Yeah. Keeping it fishy, in that case, get the wider one. I have a sit-stand desk, so I have one of those things, the metal things that like you mount to the underside of the desktop. So it has to be a wood one. You can't do that with like particle board desktops. We need a tiny PC forum. I guarantee you they're out there. Check Reddit. There'll be one. If you mean we need a channel on the Discord, I mean, that could be cool, I guess. Yeah. Okay, really only P. Hoffman Gaming is here. Even though I've seen 2 forums get filled out. But people just don't want to respond and say, I'm here. Okay, all right. Let's get into this then. I've been yapping long enough. Okay, Walleye, that's not how I said to do it, but that's fine. It's easy, like if chat's not moving super fast right now, so I did catch that, but sometimes chat's moving kind of fast and I don't catch every chat. So putting my name in there highlights it for me, makes it easier for me to find. Maxis says, I have a 3070 Ti and it worked for me until my son decided to push the power button on PC like it was doing the Test Your Might Mortal Kombat game. Yeah. Colin, I just said typing my name in there makes it easier to find. What? Guys, this is free help. You can follow instructions, right? Okay. All right. So P. Hoffman Gaming. And yes, I do get to be annoying about this because I'm helping for free. P. Hoffman Gaming. What is your actual maximum budget for your thing? Did you say it was 900? Oh boy. Okay, that's what the maximum is for. I need to know what the maximum is because you got to understand, especially in a situation like this, if you're looking to do a system for gaming, streaming, and racing sim / flight sim, you're asking a lot of this $1,000. You're trying to stretch that quite a bit. But oh, you said an upgrade. You said this is an upgrade then. All right, I got to go back to your initial chat then and see what you said you had. So you said I need to upgrade from my 9700K and 3060 Ti to run a 55-inch 4K 120 hertz with NVIDIA Surround. Budget is around $900. Thoughts? I would just upgrade the GPU. A 9700K it's showing its age, yes, but if you want to change that, you have to change the motherboard. And that means you probably have to change the RAM. If you just upgrade your GPU, then you're probably going to get the most benefit out of it, especially if you're trying to run 4K with NVIDIA Surround. And you said it was more than one, I think. It was... 3 of those. 3 55-inch 4K 120 hertz. That basically your whole budget goes towards a GPU then. Because, yeah, 3060 Ti is not built for this. So, in your racing sim / flight sim, and you're trying to stream this at the same time, I'm guessing? I don't know how you're going to get the surround to show. It's just going to show your main screen. I also need to know the wattage of your power supply. $750-watt power supply. It's a lot of VRAM too, probably. It's a lot of 4K frames. I mean, you're talking about okay, it's already hard enough to run 4K. You're tripling that. Okay. The easier thing probably would have been a super ultra wide, like a Odyssey G9 OLED or something. That's much easier to run. But well, that's not what you got. So, and this is one of those cases where I would say, you know what, 4090 is about right. And I just sold one for $1,200. Oops. You're not really going to find them for that price usually. Well, far be it for me to tell you to wait 3 months, but you might seriously benefit from a 5080. No to that. Just thinking. I mean, what's within budget for that is a 7900 XTX. That's within budget. And I'm going to show you this here. Let me show you this. So other than the 4090, the 7900 XTX is the most powerful GPU in terms of rasterized performance, rasterization, okay? Not including ray tracing, DLSS stuff, just pure performance. 7900 XTX is at the top of the heap, and then followed by the 4080 Super. This is in 4K. 4K Ultra, right? What you might end up doing is lowering your graphics settings. You're demanding a lot out of these, but you want to use NVIDIA Surround, so that's not going to work for you. So a 4080 Super then, and that's a $999 graphics card, right? But you're probably going to need more than that 750 watts in your power supply. They say the minimum is a 750 watt power supply. So, because that thing can pull up like up to 320 watts of power. They do. They do have their own version of it. So depending on the game, does the game heavily do any heavy ray tracing, or do you like leave that on? Because if you turn that off, it's gonna basically even out. I mean, or the 7900 XTX is gonna outperform the 4080 Super. But at a $1,000 budget, you're looking at just a high-end graphics card. NZXT H6 Flow case. I have room for whatever. That's a nice case. That's a great case. I had to change my PSU out after buying those Lee & Lee LCD fans. Those things turned out to be pretty expensive. Yet they are pretty expensive. AJ, what's up? Also, are you going to CES? I should be. I haven't really talked to anybody about it. I should really be trying to get whatever sponsorship I can to go. I haven't been. I just came back from TwitchCon, man. I'm tired of traveling, and I hate Vegas so much. Like, I don't hate many things. I'm not a hater. But like, Vegas. That's more than enough for the 4080 crash. You could do that. It would run out the 750 watts, and you could do that. The question comes down to, do you want to use NVIDIA or AMD? Both of them can do encoding for your streams without affecting your performance. Now with the latest OBS update, you have a one-click setup for Radeon GPUs as well as NVIDIA GPUs. So I would say a 7900 XTX is the way to go. It is severely underrated. It is a really, really good card. And I say it's underrated, even though it's highly regarded. Okay. So if we look at this, let's take a look. Let's just take a look at some 7900 XTXs that are out there. I'll just choose that FreeSync. There we go. There's the ASRock Taichi OC right there. That one is a white card for $9.99. The Gigabyte Gaming OC 7900 XTX is $9.39. Power Color Hellhound Spectral is awesome looking at $9.99. And then there's this one. This is the newer one from XFX that has the magnetic fans that you can remove and replace easily. $9.19. But I would say for a white build, the Power Color Hellhound Spectral or the ASRock Taichi OC are going to be the ones you want to go with. And the cool thing is, you don't have to worry about 12VH PWR connectors. They're all going to use 8-pin PCIe power. Northern Lights, how's it going? How are you? Welcome. Patrick McGowan, AMD. All you need is 7900 GRE. Patrick, do you know what they're trying to run? They're trying to run 3 4K 120 hertz monitors in surround for sim racing. Do you still think that the 7900 GRE can hold up to that? The Taichi does look good. Oh, you can hate Vegas. Been there once and that was enough. Yeah, it's bad. But I did get to see stints at TwitchCon. That was fun. Yeah, we got to meet up at the partner party. It was a good time. Got to chat some. I actually have ASRock Taichi motherboard. So there you go. Taichi OC right there for $9.99. Fits just within the budget. And there you go. Just be willing to adjust your settings. It doesn't, like, anytime you go ultra on anything, the difference between, and I've said this so many times, there's so many times that there is a command !ultra in Twitch chat to bring up a clip where I talk about this because I had to talk about it so many times. But you're not on Twitch chat, so I won't bring it up there. But the difference in visuals between high settings and ultra is minimal. Barely perceptible in most cases. But the performance difference, the demand on your hardware between high and ultra is disproportionately high. It's the definition of diminishing returns. I am running a 4090 and I still don't run any of my games at ultra. If I were to buy, would you recommend Be Quiet power supply? Be Quiet power supplies are nice. I generally will default to like Seasonic because remember that Be Quiet power supplies are nice. They're also not made by Be Quiet. They are nice though. I do like them. I do like their power supplies, but they can be disproportionately expensive. I would probably go Seasonic. David M. What is your code for Alexander PC? It is Thorn, the second half of my name. Thorn, Thorn. Pawn Stars is a good show. Depends on what sim racer. I don't think iRacing is too demanding. Assetto Corsa likes more GPU though than a 7900 XTX. It's hard. There's only one GPU that's any more GPU than that. For now, anyway. But I went ahead and linked to this page right here, just so you can pick which one you want to buy from. And obviously, Amazon's going to be the $10 cheaper bet, I guess. But there you go. Now the 9700K it's not necessarily going to bottleneck you. You're talking about really graphics card demand here. This is graphics card GPU bound, not CPU bound at triple 4K. Yeah. But eventually you're going to want to upgrade that platform. And you can come back for that if you want advice on that later on. Zach says, do me. Zach, you got to fill out the form. I don't see your name up here. First thing in the description. Walleye, it is your turn. Yeah, P. Hoffman, you should be good with that. I know you said you've had NVIDIA a lot of time before, but like the 7900 XTX it's really good. It is very, very good. No problem. Oh, Crash asked earlier, does Vegas have good food rate? That's one of the only good things about Vegas, in my opinion, is the food. And a lot of people's opinion, actually. Okay, so Walleye wants Falcon Northwest. Apocalyptic, I don't think they're going to make that big of a leap in price. I certainly hope they're not. That's the price of a high-end PC. It's ridiculous. $2,500? Nah. Walleye, are you here? Walleye Akisida? Okay. So Falcon Northwest is what you're looking for. What's your actual max budget for it? Okay. Now, I want to be clear about this. You do know that the 9800X3D is coming out apparently at the end of this month, right? And you want this for gaming and pro gaming / esports and streaming. 8 cores, 16 threads would be fine for that. But yeah, you are aware that that comes out like in a few weeks, right? The 9800X3D, the successor to the insanely successful 7800X3D. It's either going to be launching at the end of the month or announced at the end of the month with maybe a week or two delay before launch. Like that's close. That's real close. Okay, the 7800X3D from AMD is the current top of the line, top of the heap gaming CPU on the market. And they launched 9000 series in, I get, was it in, it was in mid-August. 2 mixed reviews, but that's because people were still comparing it to the 7800X 3D, even though these things didn't have 3D V-Cache. So they couldn't compete with it. That just makes too much of a difference in gaming. So now, the new king of gaming CPUs is about to launch. Plus, Arrow Lake from Intel should be launching this month as well. My recommendation at a budget like this, give it a couple of weeks. Seriously. 3 weeks maybe. We'll have more information then. It better not be. That would be ruinous. What do you mean? Oh, 2500. Yeah. Let's see if, I wonder if they even have the 7800X 3D right now. Let's see. Because they're really hard to come by right now. Yeah. They do have it. Okay. They do have it. So they have the 7800X 3D. The 9800X 3D comes out in 3 or 4 weeks. Basically, this thing's been out for a year and a half. Okay. And they're launching the new one. Is it a year and a half? They announced it at CES 2023. Yeah. So about over a year and a half now. It's got to be hard to be a new and upcoming streamer right now. Everyone and their brother is streaming / podcasting. That was, I think, more of an issue during the pandemic when everybody started streaming. Like a lot of people started streaming. It was crazy. But not a lot of people could. Like they're trying to get PCs to do that and they couldn't get PC parts. GPUs specifically. But yeah, my recommendation for mostly for anything that's $2,000 or up is to hold off right now. And I hate doing that, but like, I'm actually really glad they're just getting it over with and launching the damn thing. P. Hoffman Gaming, not for gaming, no. Generally, the gaming focused one, the 8-core, is the better one for gaming. That's because once you go to dual CCDs running, where you have 2 chiplets, 8 cores each or 6 cores each, the ones with 6 cores each are worse at gaming than the 8-core CPU because it parts 6 of those cores. So you have a 6-core CPU with 3D V-Cache. And then the Ryzen 9, the other Ryzen 9, the 16-core that has 8 cores each, still parks 8 of those cores. And you basically have to deal with core parking behaviors. So like it can affect the performance a little bit. Generally, the 7800X 3D was just beating the 7950X 3D. Not by a lot. It was close, but it was beating it. Got to hit the market before Intel comes out. The fun thing about Intel is that they're not giving the actual date for the launch and announcement of Arrow Lake, unless they did and I just missed it. So AMD has to be reactive with that. But they can't have Intel taking the title for best gaming CPU because they're definitely going to say it. Like, oh, this is now the best gaming CPU on the market. for the next week, probably. They were supposed to be doing something that was going to like compete with 3D Vcache. I don't know. I wrote Intel off a little too much. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been paying a little more attention to whisperings. Now scheduled to launch on 24th of October. Interesting. So I'm guessing we can expect the announcement of the 3D, the 9800 X3D on the 23rd of October. It's so fun to watch them compete. But yeah, P. Hoffman Gaming, if you're trying to do more than just gaming, yeah, this something like a 7950X 3D is better than the 7800X 3D. Because when it's not when you're not playing a game, the cores aren't parked. My problem with core parking is actually more with Microsoft than AMD, because Microsoft didn't see fit to actually work on scheduling for those CPUs. Instead, they're like, yeah, we already did all that for Intel. You know what? You get Xbox Game Bar. Go on, there you go. Have fun. There you go. Glad you like the music, Crash. Gonna be weird without hyper-threading. I feel like that's gonna affect its performance in things like streaming, in things like multi-threaded applications. Obviously, like that's gonna be. But when you think about it, their highest end CPU is still gonna be 24 cores, so that's still gonna be 24 threads. So it won't be bad per se, and it might clean up scheduling. It might clean up actual handling of processes. So maybe it'll be for the best. I don't know. But that is my advice to you, because you haven't really been responding ever since I talked about that. My advice to you is to, well, like the 24th of this month, okay? 23 days from now, at least Intel is going to be launching their new stuff. And around that time, AMD is either going to announce or launch their new latest and greatest gaming CPU. And knowing the way 3D Vcache works and the fact that it still has hyperthreading, it is probably... I mean, the hyperthreading thing is not really going to help with gaming, but it's going to be king of the hill again. Just the writing's on the wall for that. Hello, Asteri. How are you? Thank you for lurking. Ace Tone says, what is the minimum number of cores that would be recommended for streaming? 8. Tired? I feel you there. I got sick from TwitchCon, so I'm struggling on the struggle bus. If the 9900 X3D has the Vcache on both CCDs like the rumors, that may be the underdog CPU. I hope they do that. I hope they do that. It won't be an underdog at that point. It's going to be top dog at that point. Because making it to where it performs less proficiently than... Oh, an ad break. There's an ad break. Never mind. AJ can't hear me. I know nothing about computers, so it's all gibberish to me. You can't hear me anyway. You have turbo? All right, cool. Yeah, so the fact that it performed less than a 7800 X3D, which cost less when it came to gaming, was just, I was so, why not have all 8 cores active on the 3D Vcache CCD and 4 cores active on the non 3D Vcache CCD? Why not do that? Those 4 cores benefit from higher frequencies. Applications that prefer higher frequencies with fewer cores, like Photoshop, would benefit. They don't need 8 cores to run without... What? It was really frustrating. But whatever. Because like the lesser of the Ryzen 9s used to be kind of awesome, in my opinion. Oh no, you got conference crud. Hate to hear it. Yeah, I did. And TwitchCon is insane. That goes back to core parking, scheduling, etc. Well, it's also the design. Well, I was worried it'd be more complicated than that. Thank you. No, yeah, that usually does it. 8 cores will usually do. But yeah, it goes back to core parking scheduling. To me, it's a design issue. Like, now, I'm not going to pretend to know more than AMD's engineers. I still feel like they should have done 8 and 4 instead of 6 and 6 to get 12 cores. But then you're going to have uneven heat distribution. So yeah, if they do 3D V-cache on both, then they're both going to have the thermal sensitivity that you have when you integrate vertical stacked cache. So yeah, that could fix that problem. They won't even need to have core parking, but looking at the state of Ryzen 9s as they are, right, for 9000 series, they might just institute core parking anyway, because why not? AMD. Rinor says, any advice in entry-level gaming? Something along the lines of blah, 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 blah. Rinor, if you want me to do a one-on-one, just fill out the form that you find linked in the description. So I know more about what you're trying to do. Although you did give me quite a bit of information for that question, and I do help it. I appreciate it. It does help, and I appreciate it. That's what I meant. I combined the... I'm sick. You got to give me a break. I do appreciate that. There is a process, and currently, I'm going to say Walleye, I would say hold off until... I mean, we are now a fart away from 2 of the biggest launches in a while. Intel's whole new platform and AMD's latest top-of-the-line gaming CPU. So I would hold off on that because you're looking... I mean, and anyone looking to make a really big investment. Like this one's $2,000. Colin, you could benefit from the 9800X 3D as well. And you guys are going to be hearing a lot of this from me. Zach, you didn't need to fill this out twice. Just going to say that. You did not need to fill this out twice. And it is identical. Well, let me double check. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, it's not identical. You added streaming. So I'll delete this one. There we go. But yeah, call in. And again, this just goes out to anybody that's in the higher budget range. I'm recommending that you hold off until then because it could definitely affect what I would recommend. And that's only like 3 weeks from now. San Diego does that to you? Yeah. Officially Kareem, did I pronounce that correctly? Hello, welcome. Or 9600X 3D, that's true. We could even look at budget builds for that. That is very true. Karime? Okay. Karime? Well, thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. I like to say people's names correctly whenever I can. And officially, so, wow. It's called the Conflu. Yeah. I'm hoping they launch it. It would be fantastic for us. It'd be fantastic for everybody. And if they don't, especially if they don't launch it just at Micro Center. Bunch of dorks. My 3900X was awesome. Yeah, if you go back to when I got the first pre-build that started this whole thing, it was a 3900X and a 3070 GPU, and it was a good system, man. Built this channel on that. Just waiting to hear back from friends that were affected from Hurricane Helene 11 at the moment are still unaccounted for. Jesus. Yeah, you got hit really hard, didn't you? It was not gentle in any way. That is nerve-wracking. Is that what that meeting was about? The mandatory meeting you said for tomorrow? When I used to do telecommunications work, I was doing enterprise work for an ISP, and man, we got hit hard. And it was mandatory overtime for weeks. Just pulls down all over the place. Hey, Bray, you know, if you ever need a Micro Center exclusive, you can hit me up. I appreciate that. One interesting thing, guys, is that, you know, the 7600X3D is a Micro Center exclusive. In the video that's going up tomorrow, I talk about an SI that actually managed to work with Micro Center to get enough 7600X3Ds to make it a consistent part of their configurator. Pretty smart. Pretty smart cookie. That's not easy to do. Because they're supposed to be exclusively selling it, but they did sell it to an SI. Smaller SI. It's a smaller SI. This is me covering that SI I told you guys about, I think on Sunday. Was it Sunday or Thursday? Where I was talking about how someone came up to me and said that they had basically built their SI based on my input from my videos. And I was like, okay. Wow. Oh, it crashed. That's terrible. Jeez. I remember working 3 months straight, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day during COVID because everyone called in. Yep. Everyone was talking a lot during COVID about essential workers, and they completely left telecommunications people out of that discussion. And I was like, we're essential. We're working every day. What are you talking about during the lockdown? Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so Walleye, that's my advice to you, is to hold off for a few weeks, especially if you're making a big investment like this. But I say that everyone's investment, it doesn't matter what the budget is, it's a big investment. I understand. I'm sorry. But you, as y'all would understand, it's not going to affect people coming in with $1,000 budget as much because they're probably going to be looking at something more budget oriented. But then again, the 9600X3D is going to be pretty. Well, hopefully they price it correctly. AMD needs to read the room for sure, and they need to. I'm hoping that they do some nice subsidies for SIs so SIs can make them affordable. My work gave us travel cards in case they ever enforced it. Yeah, we had an understanding with the PD here. They knew basically if they see big ladders on your truck, then yeah, you're good to go. Especially the bucket trucks and whatnot. Colin DeMello. Colin, are you here? Did you hear all the stuff I just said? I hope you guys are ready for a bunch of streams where I don't actually recommend something because I'm going to be like, you should wait. You should wait. I hate this. I hate doing that. I don't like it, but it's my job. It is my job to make sure you guys are aware of that because plenty of people could be like, nah, I don't feel like waiting. I want to buy it now. Okay. My message to you guys is not to think about what I think about the issue. You know yourself better than I know you, and you know whether seeing new stuff launch right after you bought your system would bother you or not. If it wouldn't, that's valid, and you're good to go. Bray Talk streams. I love these. Talking isn't too easy for me right now, but it's also what I do for a living, so I need to do it. I like talking. I cannot express to you guys how happy it makes me that I get to talk for a living. Like, it's great. Love talking. somewhere around 2009 or 10, there was a huge winter storm that took out power across the nation. I lived near St. Louis, and we didn't have power for like 2 weeks. Ooh, yeah. A couple years ago in Texas, we had like a 2-week freeze or something, or a 10-day long freeze, something like that. And we do not have the infrastructure for that. Certain areas of Texas were out of power for like a couple weeks. So if I'm looking to buy for Christmas, just wait a few weeks. Iron, absolutely. And I should have something exciting for you guys that I'm going to be announcing around early November. So really cool stuff. 10 long days. What's up, Mad Dog? How are you? Exiled Wolf says some parts of SC people still don't have power because of big metal power lines down near the river. South Carolina? Yeah. Oof. For those of you who might end up waiting anyway, and you're like, should I fill out the form now? Go ahead. You will keep your place in line for when that stuff goes through, and I can start making recommendations. It'll be taking a lot of money to upgrade the energy grid in Texas. Yeah, for sure. 10 long days. That's what you're talking about. Okay. I'm doing all right, Brick. Glad to hear it. Sheriff Folds, did you move rooms or did everything else change behind you? It's just clean. It has to be for the green screen I have to put up for whenever I'm doing production on pre-built rebuilds, which is happening. I'll have you know. But I have a fold-up green screen. It's massive, but it folds up, so when I'm not using it, I just fold it. It goes off to the side right here. But I have to keep that clean back there for it. So, because the key to good chroma key is to have distance between yourself and the green screen, so you don't get a green glow about you. And it helps to get separation, so you get good clean separation. One of the worst things about Texas is we are not on the national grid, and many parts are really out of date compared to the rest of the U.S. Very true. Barbecue at Bray's house. We just got new furniture, so it's a complete... We got some new living room furniture, so it's a complete mess here, so no thanks. This might be slow, but not dead in... Oh, West Coast ports are still open. This might be slow, but not dead in the water. Sorry for that. Never apologize for a pun here. Did you see the port strike affecting a... Do you see the port strike affecting Build for Xmas? The fun thing, I was at a meeting in SoCal just after TwitchCon, and we were talking about a project, and they were like, well, we'll see if they're on strike or not down at the port whenever our stuff's coming in. I'm like, is it like that? They're like, yeah, it's like that. You just like never know, apparently. Okay, Colin DeMello not responding. So Zach, you're looking for a parts list, right? So for gaming, pro gaming / esports, streaming, content creation / video editing, right? Now, here's the thing that I was telling everybody else about. Now, if you're looking for content creation, actually, you might not be too concerned with this, except for one thing. The new Intel platform that's apparently launching on the 24th of this month. I'm assuming that they're going to be keeping QuickSync with, your Adobe and all that, Adobe Premiere Pro. So I am personally, because I use Intel for that reason, because of video editing and stuff. I'm personally very invested in how well that launch goes, and we're literally 23 days away from that launch. It's so fun. AJ's down for barbecue. Igor would sit on the floor. My cats would like that, probably. I feel like the stuff will be waiting for a while, just like the strike during COVID. Yeah, nah. I mean, it's a lot better than it used to be. You don't have like thousands of containers sitting out in the field anymore, as far as I know. I miss not being able to get my Kansas City barbecue sauce. Did I tell you guys about this? Well, anyway. Apocalyptic, we've done 2 Braithorn builds with Alexander PCs at this point. Those were limited runs. But, always looking for more to do that with. That's one thing I talked to Stints about, actually, when I hung out with him at TwitchCon, that I wanted to do one. But just stay tuned. So, Crash mentioned Kansas City barbecue sauce, and this reminds me of something that came up around that meeting, because someone mentioned Kansas City barbecue, right? Zach, I was just checking if you heard that messaging, by the way. Yo, what's up, Short Game? How's it going? That's a long wait. Are you talking about 23 days? That's not a long wait in the grand scheme of things for a new platform that's launching. I don't know if I talked to you about this on Thursday, guys, but like, I'm going to ask y'all a question real quick, and I want you to be honest with me. Who of you out there lives in a state where you believe you have better barbecue than Texas? Go ahead and sound off. Apocalyptic was asking AJ about whether an SI had done a collaboration build with me yet, a Braithorn build. And I said that Alexander PCs has done 2 of them. And they did really well. People snatched them up because it's me signing off on a build and saying, I like this. This is good for this price range, and we can do one too. Down the road. Oh, no, Asteri. I'm not talking about seafood. I said barbecue. Barbecue. And Crash, the sauce, sure, but I'm talking about the barbecue, not the sauce. Barbecue. Because this person was insisting that Kansas City had better barbecue than Texas. And I had people from North Carolina tell me that they have better barbecue than Texas. And I had people from Atlanta tell me that Georgia has better barbecue than Texas. And I've had people from so many different areas tell me that they have better barbecue than Texas. So many people, all they want to do is tell you, oh, our state has better barbecue than Texas. What does that actually logically tell you when everyone is comparing themselves to you? It tells you when everyone compares themselves to one thing, that one thing is the superior thing. By definition, it is the bar that everyone's trying to reach. You can't fight logic, everybody. The problem is mesquite doesn't grow everywhere. I've been to so many cities in the US that have Texas barbecue joints, okay? There are no Kansas City style barbecue joints here in Texas. There are no Kansas City style barbecue joints in New York City that I've seen, in Southern California that I've seen. It is seriously, and it's not a logical fallacy. It's a logical thought process is what that is. When everybody compares himself to one thing, just get that one thing. You have to try it before you can claim anything, because there's a reason everybody wants to surpass it. And if seriously, it's an unfair advantage. We have mesquite. Mesquite is objectively the best wood for smoking meats. It is. Kansas fried catfish, though, legendary. Well, that's nice. That's good. But I would agree with the Asteri. Go to Louisiana and try it there. Because when it comes to seafood, you're not going to beat Louisiana, in my opinion. Or Maine, for that matter. But that's a different kind of seafood. I will fight. Well, you can't bet on Atlanta taste buds. I have to go to South Georgia for the best barbecue. You're still a little too far north and too far east. You need to come to Texas. And I mean, go to Austin. Okay? Get the legendary barbecue from Austin. But the problem is, I mean, you really can't find bad barbecue in Texas. The bad barbecue in Texas is usually equivalent to barbecue everywhere else. To good barbecue everywhere else. Bad barbecue in Texas is equivalent to good barbecue everywhere else. It's because we have the cheat code. It is called mesquite wood. By crawfish, Asteri, I'm sure you mean Langostino lobster. I think they call it that. Alaska's got the best seafood. I've never had seafood in Alaska. I want to do that now. Louisiana seafood hits the right way. The top barbecue cities were Austin, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, San Antonio, Texas, Birmingham, Alabama, Las Vegas, interestingly enough. There's no... Where are they getting their wood from? I guess they're just getting it imported or getting it shipped to them. Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Houston, Texas, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Jacksonville, Florida, Raleigh, North Carolina. There are 3 Texas cities on that list. That is very funny. And Austin, Texas is number 1. I had seafood in Alaska. I will give credit to the salmon, but not the others, not so much. Air04K, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Sadel X, Puerto Ricans walk into the room and put Puerto Rican barbecue in Brave's mouth. Leave the plate, then walk out of the room. I'm sure it's really good. The thing about it is, if you watch food vloggers or whatever that travel all over the place, that have had Texas barbecue in multiple locations, it's universal. Texas has the best barbecue. And it doesn't mean other barbecue is bad. And maybe there's a better sauce elsewhere. And honestly, different restaurants have different sauces. There's no like national sauce. It's the meat. It's the meat that matters. That is your foundation for everything. Why am I talking about food so much? I just ate. I'm not hungry. Anyway, Colin DeMello and Zach, I was trying to reach y'all. You guys, are you here? Like, I was trying to talk to y'all because you are on the list. We haven't really done much PC matchmaking. I don't think it's a category on Twitch for talking about food, is there? Without just actually eating it. Look, I've had Texas barbecue from a joint in Arizona, and it reminded me of Mexican food in Alabama. It's close, but it ain't the real thing. You have to have... It's like, look, it's the same thing as getting French food at a French restaurant here that's not like one that imports ingredients from France. Like, you need the ingredients. It's the same thing with a lot of, like, Asian cuisines as well. If you don't have the actual local ingredients that make it amazing, it's not going to be to the same level. God, the food I ate in Taiwan. Oh my God. I can't. Oh. Make that into a t-shirt with your face on it, Bray. It's the meat that matters. Tennessee barbecue is legit. It is legit. I have had Tennessee barbecue. I have had North Carolina barbecue. I mean, without North Carolina, we wouldn't have pulled pork like we do. Although we don't put coleslaw on the sandwiches here. I say for Texas is because let's face it, Oklahoma is a part of Texas. It's just where we keep most of our felons. Igor. Okay. Quality of meat and how you cook it is. Yeah. It is critical. Barbecue Matchmaker. Braithorn, I went to a Cajun restaurant in Las Vegas and I was asked if I wanted rice with that. I walked out of there and gave it 1 star. Is it, okay, just to be clear, is it because that shouldn't even be a question? Like it should just be assumed? What's up, Cherokee Vapor? Thank God there's only one place that has a terrible white barbecue sauce. That sounds bad. What is Florida barbecue? Probably gator, right? Like, don't y'all just like don't they do just like smoked gator or roasted gator? I don't know. I've had fried gator. I have had fried gator, and that was actually really good. Jambalaya should automatically have it. Yeah, no, that makes sense. KC brisket people, KC pulled pork. Went to White Castle in Vegas. Not a fan of White Castle. In-N-Out, baby. Or Whataburger. I will say this, there are some very bad Whataburgers, but almost every In-N-Out I've been to is good. Like good. So there are some bad Whataburgers. But I've never been to a bad In-N-Out. I would probably take a good Whataburger over In-N-Out, though. But you have to know the good Whataburgers. You have to know where they're at. And what you do is, if you're anywhere in Texas or anywhere there's a Whataburger, you ask locals, where's the good Whataburger? And they'll know. And gumbo should be brownish red, not green gumbo? What the hell? What kind of... Like, Las Vegas is supposed to have good food. What happened? It might be Crash. I don't know. I put Gator Pizza on the menu of the mom and pop pizza shop I worked at in Florida. Nice. Hell yeah. Know your local strengths. You go with that. Probably the best food I ate in Florida was in Little Havana. That was the best food I ever had in Florida, was in Little Havana. Oh my God. The coffee. The coffee. Cuban coffee. Freaking hits, dude. It hits like no other coffee I've ever had. And you drink this much. You drink so little of it. And you're just like, yeah, it's like that. Las Vegas has only slightly better than okay food, but when you're drunk the whole time, it's all amazing. AJ, to me, it's the variety of food that you can get there that I think is the best part. It's not even the best food necessarily unless you spend big bucks, but it's the variety that you can get. It's a big old melting pot of different cuisines you can get, which I like. Stays sober 99% of the time. Same. I almost never drink. And when I do, it has to be something quality. Like I'm quality over quantity 100% because I'm not a big drinker. Never have been. Not that I'm against, like, yeah, I mean, I'm against people getting blackout drunk and then getting behind the wheel. Don't ever do that. But I mean, you know, you live your life. You do what you want. I vape. It's terrible for you. You know, that's pretty much my one vice other than like pizza and ice cream, right? But like, anyway. You go to Vegas searching for good luck, not good food, says Rad Axer. I got to tell you, Rad, like, it's not luck in Vegas. The house will not allow it. It's not about luck. I do not, like, if I gambled in Vegas, I could probably get cheaper stays over there. especially if you gamble in one casino most of the time and you're registered or whatever, and then they'll fly you out there. I should honestly do that just to get cheaper hotel stays during CES. I would probably end up saving money in the long run, but it's the vibe of Vegas I don't like. It just bothers the hell out of me. You would think with LSU versus USC and a ton of LSU fans coming over, you would do your research. Hot take, all you need is black coffee with a protein drink mixed in. That's interesting. It's an interesting go-to there. I know. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, I've done I liked going to, what was it? It was like Old Main Street, or what is it called? I don't remember. But where they have like the ceiling thing with all the lights and stuff. And then you had older casinos with actual like analog roulette tables and stuff like that. And that was kind of fun. That I can get into, but just like, how can you look at a screen and think that it's anything but programming that's keeping you playing there? It ain't luck. Crash, that's serious. If that's serious, you got to work on that. That is not healthy for you. That is really bad. Don't do that. Don't just like coast with that. If you know that you have the issue, work on that issue. I believe in you, and I know you can overcome it. Spent one day in Vegas and walked around and just spent $20 in each casino. That's fun. The main thing you need to know, and I've done the casino thing before, I've done the gambling thing before, is once you decide you're going to be gambling, whatever, you need to set an amount and just acknowledge that money as lost. It is gone. It is not your money. It's just done. You're going to lose it. Because if and potentially when you lose, very likely, you're not going to be kicking yourself over it. And if you set a limit, you're not going to go into your life savings. So you just consider it. You have to look at how much am I okay losing. All right, that's how much. Okay, I just lost that much. Bam. And then you can just have some fun gambling. And you're buying that fun, I guess. But the odds of winning are not in your favor. Because they're not odds. Besides the stinky tofu. Yeah. How good was the food at Computex? That's what I was talking about. That's what I was saying. The food in Taiwan is so good. But yeah, the stinky tofu. Like, I should try it someday. I never will. I know the texture would drive me out of my mind. There's no way I couldn't do it. But yeah, the smell. Oh God, the smell of stinky tofu. It is the best named food product in the world. Most appropriately named. Hitting the oxygen tanks in Starfield is a much healthier outlet. That I can approve of. Yep, cased out the winnings and only spent the $20, left 500 up. There you go. I mean, the thing about it is they can't actually, in the algorithm that they use, there is a winning part of the algorithm and a losing part of the algorithm. If you cut yourself off in the winning part of it, they can't stop you. You just move on and do something else. It's like YouTube. The algorithm is there to keep you watching. Well, the algorithm for Vegas is to keep you gambling. And you can learn to play it too. It's just you have to be willing to walk away. Win or lose, you walk away. That's the only way the house doesn't win, is when you walk away. In a timely fashion. Vegas is just like Barbie. Plastic and fantastic, says Cherokee Vapor. Yeah. Michelle said, if you come to Georgia, specifically Atlanta, never go to Fox Bros. That tip is for free. Is that a barbecue place? Apocalyptic will know will take a road trip and try barbecue in every state. Interesting. Cherokee just finished Whataburger 15 minutes ago. Whataburger in Marshall, Texas is a good one. Nice. I'm glad to hear it. I mean, there's some that just don't have as good management. Like they don't change the oil frequently enough, so the fries are they're rank all the time. They maybe overcook their burgers or whatever. Some of their equipment isn't all the way up to snuff. It's whatever. Every franchise has bad restaurants. Apparently, except for In-N-Out, I guess. But no, I'm sure there's got to be a bad In-N-Out out there. It's like a Dairy Queen that never cleans their soft serve machine, and it comes out all icy and nasty. Karime says, I really want to build my own PC, but since I don't know much about computers, I'm afraid I'm not getting one for my streaming and gaming needs. But being a girl, I feel like when I ask for help, I sometimes get met with the undertone, if you don't know computers, why are you building one? If you want to build one, I absolutely believe that you can. And you should, if you feel like that's the way you want to go. You got our support 100%. Screw those other people. It's like, there's nothing on this thing that is saying you got to be a dude to use it. And those people who are like, if you don't already know about computers, why are you gonna? They weren't born knowing anything about computers. What are they just like? Come straight out the womb, just being like, yeah, how many PCIe slots does that have? No. Nobody just like knows that stuff. Everybody starts somewhere. A lot of people start with the pre-built, including those people who are like, you should never buy pre-built. They started with a family pre-built or something, so they can't say anything. But they do. They do. Don't ever let the words of any one person or group of people keep you from doing the things you're interested in. I mean, unless you're interested in doing like illegal or harmful stuff, then absolutely don't do those things. But no, in this community, however you want to get into PC gaming or whatever PC usage you want, or streaming or whatever, however you want to do it is the right way, because you know what's best for you better than anybody else does. So with the resources that are out there, all the videos, all of the guides, all of that, whatever gate someone's trying to put in front of you, whatever gatekeepers are out there, just ignore them. Walk through them. Those gates are unlocked. But they're pretending that's not the case. Fling them wide open, go right through. Because everything you need is out there. And the thing that could get in the way, like, I don't know if the parts are all compatible. I can help with that. That's what I do. That's what we do. But yeah, I mean, this is a hobby for everybody if you want to do it. And do remember that PC gaming and PC DIY are two separate hobbies. You don't have to do one to do the other. So yeah, no, we got you. Yeah, Asteri built your first PC. Here's the thing, guys. Asteri's been a part of the community for a long time. So I offered to build that PC for Asteri. Do it on stream, do all that, or whatever. And Asteri said, no, I really want to do it. And I said, hell yeah, okay. Go for it. Like, you're going to feel some trepidation. Of course you are. That's normal. This is something that I like to use as an example, but I did theater all through my youth and into my early adulthood and into like my adulthood. Which that's when I was doing, like, I was part of an improv comedy group, which is even more nerve-wracking. And the funny thing is, when my kiddo was getting into drama and theater, was asking me about stage fright, I was like, what? I was asked, when do you get over stage fright? And I said, I didn't. You don't. Some people do, probably. But for me, I never did. I still feel those nerves every time I'm going to go, every time on curtains opening, I'd feel those nerves. But it's just like anything else. You use that. I would just use that because fear, anxiety, and trepidation, things like that, those are just like emotions, and emotions are like energy, right? So you can just like, so if you're nervous about it, what you're going to do is you take that and it helps you be cautious. And there's nothing wrong with being cautious. It doesn't mean you're scared. It just means you're smart. And you're going to take your time and be like, I'm going to make sure I do this right. Maybe your hands are going to shake a little bit when you're first putting that CPU in there, but you're going to know the right way to do it because you watched a video on that. A few of them, a dozen of them. It doesn't matter. But don't let the words of any idiots keep you from something you truly want to do. I think I went off a little too long on that. Sorry if I made it weird. But that hits close to home for me. Because I've seen that. I've seen that kind of behavior amongst people that I called friends. And to this day, it still bothers me. And these are people who'd be like, man, why aren't more girls into gaming? Why aren't more girls into PCs? It's because you keep driving them off, you freaks. What's wrong with you? You're freaks. Stop it. You're going to die alone because you're not going to let anybody get into the things you're into. What's wrong with you? Because they would gatekeep, and I'm like, that's not cool. How are you, like, you're just messing it up, buddy. You're messing it up for yourself and the rest of us. What's wrong with you, man? That was younger me. Now I have a better, healthier view on it, where it's just like, don't gatekeep anybody, all right? For the purpose, that's just not okay. But it was kind of really annoying to see someone complain about something that a situation they're helping create. I'm reading all the comments y'all put in now, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you for backing me up on that. We really do have a solid community, and whenever someone comes in with any negativity, they're usually kind of ushered out like, hey, probably not the right attitude, or they're educated in how we see things and how we like to encourage others. So honestly, the best thing is when someone learns from watching how we react to stuff like that, where it's like, you know what? I was full of crap. Oops. I think I'm going to not be that anymore. If I got frustrated, yes, it took 14 hours, but there was a lot of breaks. I like a lot to read the manuals and then to read the plugs for the Mobo. Yeah, that can be really confusing, especially those front panel connectors, which is why I super appreciate cases that just have the unified connector. And like, I've talked to case manufacturers that don't do that, and I'm like, why? Why are you not doing this? It has been so standardized, even though it's not officially standardized, it's pretty much standardized. Just do that. And they're like, yeah, well, we have thousands of this case without that. So, all right. Yo, Igor, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Karime. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. 168 gift subs in the channel. You're ridiculous, man. Thank you very much. I don't mean ridiculous in a bad way. I mean in the best way possible. Same thing on the stage fright thing. Cool. I appreciate y'all backing me up on that too. But was that an actor that said that? I know it was. I was taught that by my theater teacher, which I never took a theater class in like high school. I went to directly to like the UIL 1-act play classes because I'd already been doing some theater before that. So I didn't really need to study theory. I just wanted to get to performance or whatever. But it was practically taught to me. Or I would have nerves, and it was very obvious. And it's like, hey, you see how you're like this? That's energy. Get out there and be bigger. Be bigger than your stage fright. Like, overpower it. You know? That's the person who taught me to project, to be louder, and all that. How to use the pipes here, throat, use the voice, get to the people in the very back of the theater, and get like, hey. It needs to be conversational tone back here, meaning you need to blast that front row and be like, ah! It was great. What a great teacher. What a great teacher. Man. I feel like we heard something from an actor that aligned with what you said. I know some actors have said theater is harder than making a movie. Oh, it absolutely is. Although making a movie is its own. I've done some film work, but it's like really local, minor stuff. But I still see the process of like take after take, and being able to try things in different ways. Live performance is a totally different animal. I took drama in both junior high and high school. Very cool, Igor. That's awesome. That was one thing I really liked about doing that video with Roby at QuakeCon, was that I got to do a tiniest bit of acting. That was fun. Agreed, you have to start somewhere, and when they're not compatible, all it takes is a Dremel tool to make it work. No, Michelle, no! Do not Dremel the CPU to make it fit in the socket. It still doesn't work. I got hurt in high school, so I became a pain pill addict. 12 years, been clean 10 years. Definitely is possible, and does get better at Crash. There you go. Apocalyptic is talking to you, Crash, on that one. Yeah, and it does happen to many. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you overcame that, Apocalyptic. John Paul Bacon, welcome. What's up? Sorry, this is like the least productive stream I've ever done. I recommended 1 GPU. Holy crap. But a couple people just disappeared on me. I have not seen Zach or Colin responding to anything in a while. Your acting was great there. Thank you. Appreciate that. I did one play in 5th grade. Hey, you're an actor then. I think that qualifies you for... I was going to say, I think that qualifies for SAG, but that's Screen Actors Guild, so no. Marble Hornets, anyone? I do want to leave my comfort zone and stream, so that's a goal of mine. Absolutely. And the cool thing about it is there are so many more ways of streaming now that have become social norms that, like, at any level of comfort with putting yourself in front of people, well, if you have a high discomfort, there are ways of streaming where you can stream however you want. You can no face cam, virtual person, whatever, and it's totally normal now. So that's the best thing. And then you can even work your way up to it. There was a friend of mine who wanted to get into YouTube, and I was like, they had never done anything like the stuff that I grew up doing, theater and all that stuff, camera work or any of that. And I was like, all right, I got homework for you. Just take out your phone, turn on the, you know, open up the camera, go to video, face it towards yourself, and just talk into the camera, and just get used to that. Just learn to talk into a camera, because that with no one reacting, because that takes a lot. Like, it's weird. This is the best because I get to see all of this stuff, and you guys are reacting to the things I'm saying. Streaming, in my opinion, easier than video production because it's like a conversation back and forth. I'm glad you think it's been a great show. I should probably change the what is it? The thing to just chatting rather than science and technology. We're hardly talking about science or technologies. Social sciences. That's what we're talking about. Yes, VTube as a wilted vegetable. Go for it. The Christmas Carol play is my favorite. That's a good one. It is. There are some really fun versions of that too. I think I saw a musical version of that. It was really cool at the local theater here. But they also do the normal one as well. It just depends. Oh God, I've seen so many versions of Rocky Horror, which is great. That show is out there. That show is very much out there. If you've never seen it, it is out there. But it's a lot of fun. I had this thing closed off, so it made me cough. That wasn't good. Fixed it. Marble Hornets was one of the very first analog horror series on YouTube. Oh, okay. I knew it sounded familiar, but I'd never seen it. I love Broadway shows. My wife took me to a show, and I never looked back. I do regret not seeing Phantom before they closed down. Oh, that would have been amazing. I saw the off-Broadway production when it came through Texas, and it was astounding. This was, I talked about this before, but there's something when you find out someone that you didn't expect to be into like musical theater or something like that, when you find out that they're into it too, and like grew up doing it like you did. And there's just something about those kind of conversations. It's just the purest thing ever. And having experienced that with freaking Harris Heller of all people last week was like one of the weirdest and awesomest moments I've had in a long time. I used to have that same vaping addiction. It's really hard one to stop. Tell me about it. I basically tell myself, like, look, dude, you have one vice. It's okay. At some point, I'm going to have to quit, though. But Dark Side of the Moon was a play we did in high school. Oh, cool. We always did the time warp before each performance to psych ourselves up. Hell yeah. The lyrics literally say, let's do the time warp again. So there you go. You're supposed to do it again. Don't go back, Crash. Don't go back. It is not worth it. It's expensive and unnecessary. How is everyone tonight? We're good. There's not a lot of help that I can provide tonight, considering the announcements the recent leaks of information with stuff launching near the end of the month. It's the same thing as in July, where it was like, sorry guys, there's not really much I can do. But anyone who's like, I don't care, I just want something now, then I'll do it. But most people have been like, okay, I'll wait. I saw both Cats and Miss Saigon with the original cast in 1990. Both were in London. Cats blew, but Miss Saigon was amazing. Dave, that is awesome. I mean, look, there are diehard theater people that I know that just can't get with Cats. It doesn't click with them. And I think to get really into it, I mean, of course, there's a lot of people who are just really into it. But for theater people to get really, I think you need to like perform in it and then you get it. I never did, so it never really clicked with me. So I would probably have felt the same way. Some great music in Cats, though. Some great music. Does anyone else vape more when they're playing games or in a conversation? I tend to not vape as much in a conversation with people, like in person anyway, because I tend to be very aware of me imposing my habits on other people. I try not to do that, but that's my personal thing. That's me. Make up a scenario build in the chat. What are you talking about for improv? No, I'm good. I'm out of practice with improv, and it is a tool. Like it is something. It is a skill, rather. It's a skill that you need to hone, and I have not in a long time. Oh, Karime, I didn't realize that you had an entry in here. I just saw this. I had no idea. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you had entered this here. This is what I'm saying. You guys got to tell me when you're on the list, when you come back in, because I'm not going to guess that until, yeah. I mean, if I were to just, oops, I don't know why I lowered it that much. I guess it works with this camera here. But if I were to like, every time people, like every hour, just be like, okay, let's go through the whole list of people I haven't helped yet. That would be a lot of people. But what I've been telling people is what you heard me talking about just now. That, so we have some, I believe it's confirmed with Intel now, right? That essentially Intel is launching Arrow Lake on the 24th of October. You can bet that the announcement or launch of 9800X 3D chips from AMD are going to be around or on the same day, or around that same day. So we're looking at a few weeks for that launch. Basically, about 3 weeks. That's okay. So I guess what we could do, because this is a parts list, right? It's not a pre-build. When it's a parts list, it's a little easier to do, because what I can do is I can put together a whole setup, a whole build, and all you do is change the CPU to the new one when it comes out. Gaming, streaming, content creation, video editing, and graphic design. I probably wouldn't put you on a 7800X 3D then, and it probably would be Intel then. The new Arrow Lake stuff when that comes out. So what's going to happen is your motherboard and CPU would be different, and I don't know pricing on those yet. Let's go and throw this together. Gaming and school build for less than 1K. Asteria, I'm sorry. It was just I just noticed this, but I'm glad I caught it. Okay, Karime, what is your actual maximum budget for the build? Because it's in increments of 500, so I want to make sure that we, you know, do the best build that we can. I like that you want to do a white build, and that'll make Crash happy too. All right, Crash. You know what's funny? Crash, you said that when you used to vape, you could do rings and stuff like that. I can do that too, but I don't do it on stream because I don't want to risk making vaping look cool. Because I don't encourage other people to do it. My build, if I didn't have a light on the CPU, it would be fully dark and would make my tail wag even more if it was. You know you can turn that off, right? The light, like you can turn off any RGB that's there, or you can just shut it off. Probably requires the software for that, but yeah. But you can also change it to where it depending on the software, you could potentially change it to where it'll change along with the CPU temps so that you get an actual utility out of it. To like have it to go red whenever it's getting really hot or whatever. Okay, so let's just say, let me see if I can find something here. According to this, according to Tom's Hardware, we have leaked pricing for Arrow Lake. So an Ultra 7 would probably be the go-to for me. That's probably what I would recommend. So 430. So what we'll do is we'll find a CPU and a motherboard, and we'll put a CPU in there that's around this price right here. I keep it on just to tell me the PC is on. Doesn't the sound of it do that though? Fans and stuff. I use my Stream Deck for that. 7000 X3D has changed so much in price. It really has. Who else would build my PC for me besides Micro Center? Any system integrator. And there are dozens of them. But right now we are doing a parts list for someone to build their own. But I am going to go ahead and go Intel on this. And look, the 14900K is around 462. And according to this, that's what the next i7 is going to be around. 430. Well, it's a little higher. But that'll help us price a little conservatively. So there, we'll choose that. And we'll get a Z790 motherboard that's decent because you want to stream. Because I would recommend a Z890 motherboard with good I/O. Let's choose a ProArt Creator Wi-Fi. Sure. Oh, it's a white build. Really, the Maximus formula is that's the newer one. That's the Z690. I already have that one. Never mind. But 434, that's like half of the original price. That thing was so expensive. I did like the Force Wi-Fi. Let's choose this one. About 350 should get you a motherboard with tons of I/O. They might be overdoing it a little bit even. It does have to be DDR5. Now you are doing content creation, so I'm going to recommend 64 gigs of RAM. Now to be clear, When you fill this out and you do this one here, what you're telling me here is that we cannot focus most of the budget on the GPU or whatever, because it's not just for gaming. We need to balance out your system. Doing content creation, video editing, add some extra cost into it. For other parts, you want to make, and for streaming, you need to get a better motherboard that has better I/O, things like that. That's why I ask those questions. We don't really need to go with this. I'm just going to go with this for now, just to get there are a good number of kits that are this frequency and latency for a good price, which is why I'm going with that. Wait. I didn't choose the capacity, I guess. 2x32. There we go. Let me ask you this. Kari May. What are your feelings on RGB? Since you're going with the white build, do you want it to have a lot of RGB or non-RGB? What are we thinking? I think it would be great just to have a stream once a week, just to talk like we are now. Well, the thing is, Apocalyptic, I do this while I'm doing builds anyway, but in this one, I'm just not doing many builds, so it does sort of skew it a little bit. I also have a habit of drinking a lot of water. That is a habit I am willing to pass on. Same here. I drink tons of water. I like it, but I don't need it. Interesting. This is a nice kit. I hadn't seen this one really around. Ripjaw's M5 now has RGB. I like that. For $199? Hell yeah. Good specs too. It has to be. That's how I chose it. Okay. Storage. 2 terabytes Inland Performance Plus is a start at $138.97 with great speeds and great reliability, performance, very good drive. Now, how about this? Let me ask you this. How do you feel about like the aesthetic for your build? Do you want it to be just purely performance, or do you want like a lot of glass to show it off? If you're going to be streaming and doing content creation, you might want something that's going to look really, really nice in your setup, that's going to show it off a bit. What kind of case do you want for your build? Do you want to have something with front glass and side glass, or just mesh front and side glass like normal? Ruchi says, hi, I'm a PC and I'm not John Hodgman. Hodgman. Okay. Both front and side. All right, cool. I already know which one to get with, which case I would recommend then. I like how Montech is in one of the default recommendations here now. Montech King 95 Pro. Now, it looks like this has a ton of RGB. It does have quite a bit, but you'll notice the fans only have the rings of RGB, not the hubs. And then you have this strip right here. It's not as overwhelming as you might think. Plus, it comes with all the fans pre-installed except for with your radiator. I'm not showing the picture. Sorry, there it is. I was showing the picture before, though. I was showing that other picture. I did show that, yeah. So you did get to see it. But again, this is a parts list. You can change any of the parts you want for your actual build. But we're going to go ahead and assume this case right here. I think it'll be a good one. And then for the CPU cooler, we can get a matching Montech one. Fish tank it is. Oh, yeah. They exploded my PC case. Yeah, and they took a nice picture of it so you can see it exploded. There you go. Now, the fans don't match exactly, but you can get matching fans and replace them. I think this will be fine the way it is, though, because they're not directly facing out of the build. It is facing down. So it's going to cast some nice light on the rest of your build. One of the nice things about a white build is that it will reflect the RGB that you put into it. Speaking of the King 95, that build is finally gone, Braithorn. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. If you're buying just the case, then yes, it's going to come with the mesh. Does RGB put out heat? My room is already hot enough. Not really. These are LEDs. If they were like incandescent bulbs, then yeah, they'd put out some heat, yes. Plus, what RGB you don't want, you can just shut off like you said earlier. Very true. I need to use the finest, high pressure sodium RGB. Rurutu, you are in rare form this evening. How are you? How are we doing on this, by the way? 1407. Let's go ahead and get our... No, that's mostly the build already. So now we can basically put a $1,000 GPU in there. So considering your needs here, you're talking about 1440p for gaming, streaming, content creation. So the question becomes, do we go with a... No, I might as well just go with a 4080 Super here. Just make sure you cover all the needs there. It's because of the content creation thing. And not to say AMD can't do it, especially with having AV1 encoding and whatnot. But we'll just, they're getting into the mainstream for content and stuff like that. But the adoption of it might halt because now they're stepping away from high-end GPUs over at AMD. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, 4080 Supers are getting hard to get. They are becoming harder to find. I did forget about that. Okay, Zotac Trinity Gaming OC. There you go. Sounds good to me. All right. I mean, Starfield does have its fun points for sure. Like Angry Beaver, I think once you got into where you could build ships with most of the parts available and stuff, you'd have a lot of fun with it. It is really fun. AMD is going to focus more on 500 and below cards, pretty much. Need a power supply. Let's narrow this down. Here we go. And we'll look for 850 or higher. Tough Power GFA 3. Well, we want something that's going to have... Ooh. Does not have 12 PWR native. So we will skip that. This one here, the C1000 from NZXT. This thing got really well reviewed. It's a really nice one. Comes with 12 PWR, and so it has a native connector for it. Okay. So remember, don't get this build as you see it here. Basically, when this is going to be the build, but when the new stuff comes out, it's either going to be the new Intel stuff. It might be newer AMD, depending on how the reviews go for Intel. But we can basically have this saved for you for now, and you have most of your build. You could even get things like the case, maybe the RAM, the storage, power supply, GPU, and just wait on the motherboard and CPU. But you can do that over the next few weeks. Just don't get the motherboard, don't get the CPU yet. I think, Crash, what they were saying was like, that's what they would say if they were a hater, but they're not. They're saying, I need to try Starfield. They're saying, like, they would say you're a goober with no taste in gaming is what they would say if they're a hater, but they're not a hater. They actually just need to try the game because they want to try it out. So it was a positive message overall. The one thing I'm not going to throw in here is an operating system. The operating system, you can just get a license for that from my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals. The video going up tomorrow will have the links in the description for that, where you can basically get a license for Windows for like $20 instead of $120. And I've even got a coupon code for it and all that. So there you go. What are the incompatibilities? It's just updating the BIOS. Yeah, okay, got it. Let me do the same casing. There you go. No problem. Happy to help. 19RC88 says, bought 3 Windows 10 Pro keys the other day using your code. Used for 3 machines I built using parts from Micro Center. All 3 now have Windows 11 Pro. There you go. You can always do the free upgrade thing that they're still running, I think. It's okay, Crash. That's why I'm here to mediate. Christopher Rayla says, I need help buying my first PC for streaming and gaming content. Any help with that? That is what I do. My current messaging has been that both Intel and AMD are like 3 weeks away from launching new CPUs. So the right thing to do, I believe, is to wait for a few weeks for that to come out along with reviews and everything. The launch of 9000 series from AMD, Ryzen, and all that was cool and all, but clearly, this is the bigger launch because it's both of them launching products, both a fully new platform from Intel plus the 3D V-Cache chips from AMD, at least one of them. So it's worth waiting for, in my opinion, if you're looking to do something, particularly if it's a multi-use system, not just gaming. How long can I wait to take more meds? Because I'm starting to feel some symptoms creeping back on me. I swear, just medicating really well is the reason I was able to stream at all. Like the reason I was able to get out of bed and walk over to the PC and sit down and turn everything on and stream. Yes, yesterday when I used your CD key site, it activated as Windows 11 Home with Windows 10 Home key. Interesting. That's not supposed to work that way, but okay. That's more on the Microsoft side of things, I guess. Ghost Ploner, I missed your earlier messages. I apologize for that. I don't think Phantom Gaming has ever made an NVIDIA card. Yeah, ASRock makes AMD cards. Yeah. Usually the route to do with that, Northern Lights, is to go to install whatever operating system you bought the key for. And that works if you get the Windows 10 one, and then just go through the Microsoft process, the Windows process of upgrading it to Windows 11. Oh, but yeah, Christopher Varela, if you want, please click the link in the description, fill out that form. Being that I am suffering currently from symptoms of sickness, I might be ending stream a little bit early tonight just because I'm having a hard time with it, like for real. I feel it coming back to hit me again. I'm supposed to have edited a video and put it up today or yesterday, but I just could not sit. I couldn't move. I couldn't sit at my PC. I couldn't get out of bed. But, you know, and basically doing the stream, I think might have set me back a little bit from the progress that I made in getting better. I just want to feel better. It's just all I want. It's been a rough couple of months, to be honest. It is what it is, though, you know? The nectar of life. Yeah, it's TwitchCon cred. Indeed. I do have it at home COVID testing, and I tested negative for that, so that's nice. But doesn't make me feel any better. Just emotionally. And I got a lot of work to do, guys. I have so much work to do. Oh my goodness. But I will say TwitchCon was completely worth it. The meeting after TwitchCon was absolutely worth it. But TwitchCon especially, I was able to have some fun there. Like, I haven't really been able to do it at most events I've gone to because usually I have a bunch of stuff scheduled, and in this one I didn't. And I just got to hang out, meet new friends. Okay, Medic, it's not, I said I came out negative, but okay. You have the right to wear a mask. I support your right to wear a mask if that makes you feel more comfortable. I will always support that here. Man, you should have been like, God. I don't, you know, I avoid political stuff here, and which is why it disgusted me when personal safety was forced into being a political thing, because what that ended up doing, it should never have been. It should never have been a political thing whatsoever. But what that ended up doing was this. being an essential worker, working ISP stuff, what happened during COVID was that a lot of the residential guys ended up needing a lot of help. So I ended up doing a lot of residential jobs, even as an enterprise technician. It's not harder than enterprise. It was actually usually a little easier than enterprise in some ways, a little harder in others. But we were required to wear a mask by work. Our work required us to do it. And the amount of people who that personally offended for some reason was ridiculous. Like, no, I'm here because I have to be here because you want more cable channels. Allow me to do what makes me feel comfortable and allows me to keep my family safe, because I'm going from home to home to home to home to home to home to home here. You don't want me breathing on you right now. It could be very bad, regardless of COVID. It's whatever. But yeah, my personal safety became a political issue. And that's not fair. You know? I actually wanted the Razer mask, but now that I know it wasn't actually as protective as they said it was, that could have been disastrous for me back then. Medic, I would have helped you out. But not in that business anymore. Oh, I mean, now I don't do any of that stuff anymore, of course, but what am I talking about? Anyways, what the hell? So we got that build done. Is it Brave Breathing ASMR? Interesting. Glad to hear it. Glad you're enjoying it. I really just want to lay down. I just want to lay down and just close my eyes for a while after I take some medicine. So here's what we're going to do. One of the best things about TwitchCon was hanging out with this dude, Emmett, and I'd like to rate him one more time because he's still doing his subathon. And just a really fun guy. And, he and his buddies were all really nice to me. Super cool to meet them because I've been watching them for a long time on their content stuff, on their content grind and Super Metroid stuff and all that. He's not doing that now. He's doing something else. But I would like to drop a raid over there just to support that streamathon. Wow. Okay. You guys have to see this. Apparently body art was a subathon goal. And I want you guys to see this. Anyone who's over on the YouTube channel, please click the link in the description to join the Twitch stream so that we can have a nice, fun raid for Emmett over here. Oh my God, they're playing upside down controller, Super Metroid any percent. Oh my God. But also the body art. You got to see this. Well, I hope you guys are ready for that. I'll be back on Thursday, hopefully feeling better. I'm going to focus tomorrow on resting up and trying to finally get better. And just, I need to get back to being productive because I'm behind on so much right now. But I absolutely, of course, appreciate you guys for hanging out. Thank you for putting up with sick me, talking all the time, and making everybody wait to buy PCs just because new stuff's coming out. Trust me, nobody likes that, neither do I. But it's for the best. And I will do that stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, guys. All right. Y'all too, thank you very much. I'll see y'all on Thursday. And until then, take care. Oops.
Let's go, nerds!